Hey, and welcome to Shatter The Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a super special episode. This is episode number 50. Cannot believe it. We made it 50 episodes. We're coming up on our year anniversary of the podcast here soon, so it's really exciting to have already made it to 50. Doing those double episodes some weeks, giving you guys a little extra. This week, though, is kind of a little different episode of Shatter the Vain. We're not going to go through the news, the forum static, the crazy game story. No, we're going to focus on just streaming and like how to get started and what you need to do for streaming. With TwitchCon here happening this coming weekend, I felt like this was a great topic, and no other person should be on talking about this here in the Vainglory community but DZ. DZ joins me. He's the man with the crazy instant replay and the foot pedals you heard about. So it's perfect. He can give you some advice on how to get started, what you need to do, things to think about, issues you might run into, because it's a dangerous world out there streaming and people could be targeting you too. So hopefully you enjoy this change up, this little switch up for episode 50. We'll be back doing the normal thing for episode 51. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. And if you're enjoying the show, I do have the Patreon page running. That's at patreon.com/shatterthevain. So you can head over there. If you're willing, donate. There's some like stretch goals, milestones, and we can start doing more with the show. Maybe every week there'll be 2 shows if we get enough backers there. But, I love that everyone's watching, supporting the show, sharing it. So that's fantastic. I couldn't ask for more. And listeners keep growing. So that's just great. I love it. Without further ado, let's jump into episode 50.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about vainglory.
This is the 50th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about vainglory. Every week I try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bringing on someone else from the community. The vainglory community is so fantastic and diverse, and there's just so many great people. And this week, joining me for this 50th episode is DZ. Welcome.
Hey, Brad. How's it going, buddy? How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Feeling good. It feels great to be on the other side of the microphone with you.
Right. You're usually the one shoutcasting and like running the show, and now just sit back and...
I got to tell you, man, I've waited for such a great opportunity for us to, realize when would be a good time to be on. And I listen to you every Monday afternoon on the way home to work. And if I get home quickly, I pick it right back up Tuesday morning.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, because you're on Stitcher. You're on Stitcher now and not just iTunes. So it synchronizes. And if you have a GM vehicle, like a Chevy or anything, you plug it in and Stitcher comes right up and there's your logo
right there. Nice.
On my screen. So
yeah, you gotta have your podcasts on Stitcher and iTunes. Everyone's not just an iOS user, so it's good. I think it's great that you're on the 50th episode because you've been promoting the podcast on your channel for months now. So I think it's only fitting for you to be here on this celebration. So thanks
Brad.
Before we get into it here, you want to introduce yourself? Who are you? If people don't know who you are in Vainglory yet, I'm surprised.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I'm DZ Live on Twitch. I'm DZ Live on YouTube. That's where I put my VODs. And I've been broadcasting for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
I originally started with a channel called DZ. It was with 7 Zs. It's still there. I did mostly DayZ at the time.
Okay.
And then I got picked up with Gameloft, and they said you should create a different channel, that's more marketable. So I created DZ Live on Twitch. I ran with that. I was on the front page of Twitch about 22 times last year.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did promotions with Gameloft, and it was a good time. At the time, I was playing a lot of Heroes of Order and Chaos.
Okay.
And then this amazing product was demonstrated on stage about a year ago by these 2 guys from a company called Super Evil Megacorp. And my jaw dropped when I saw that, when metal was actually demonstrated live on stage. And as soon as I got my hands on Vainglory in the middle of November, I think was it November
Yeah, it
14th?
was like the NA launch was like sometime in November. Yeah.
I stopped every game I was playing.
Yeah.
Dude, I was a variety caster. I played everything, and I stopped. I lost all these different viewers that wanted me to play this. I'm like, nope, this game's the future. This game is the future. And I actually left doing promotions with a certain other video game company to do this game because I believed in it so much. And then the community started growing.
Yeah.
Playoff Beard just ran with it. I think the correct word to use in the beginning was intimate. They really wanted to get to know their viewers, and they wanted you to get to know them. Next thing you know, I'm at PAX South with Foul Ferris. I travel everywhere with that guy. And I'm checking into the hotel, and Ferris is in the lobby. And no lie, I'm checking in, and behind me, I hear these three people. And is that DZ? Is that DZ? And I'm like, oh my god, this is really happening. I'm having a fanboy moment. I'm like, oh my god,
Was
was
this kind of your first moment, or has it happened before that?
And I turn around, and it's Tommy Crawl, Playoff Beard, and Stefan. And I'm like, me, you, and it was awesome. And they really picked my brain. They became my best friends that moment.
Oh, awesome.
And Playoff Beard, just hands down greatest guy in the world. He open door policy. I could talk to him anytime I want. He's just that cool, man.
Nice. So that was that a weird moment, since you were like, I just play your game. You guys make the game. Like I should be fawning all over you, not the other one. Like
we were boying on each other,
Okay.
which was very weird to explain. I can't describe it, but it's like you're Brad Chmielewski. Oh my god, the podcast, and you're like, oh, you're DZ. Hey.
Yeah.
But it just started a beautiful friendship, and much more from there. Much more from there too.
Yeah, I remember hearing about you or seeing your stream on Twitch and Playoff Beard talking about how you used to have pedals that controlled all your setup, right? Or you still have these pedals?
Dude,
They're-
I don't mind sharing. Here you go. This is what runs my instant replay. No lie.
Okay.
This kicks it off. This stops it the second time you push it. I used to play guitar.
Okay.
This cuts to the instant replay scene, and then this cuts back to live. My whole point of using this, compared to clicking the buttons, I found in the beginning when we started using the instant replay feature, I had to take my hands off the iPhone.
Okay. Yeah.
But now remember, this is before Spectator was released for PAX East, like right after PAX East. Mm-hmm. So there was this 3-month period where if I wanted to do instant replay, I would, and I wasn't Spectator, so you're watching me play. So I had to kick your butt, trigger the replay, finish kicking your butt, be excited about it.
Yeah. Then replay.
Cut to it, play it, and it was virtually impossible. And I'm sitting here, and I have no way to do this technology. So I said, I'm at my buddy's house, and he's recording some guitar licks on his guitar, and I'm like, oh my god, I need a USB foot pedal. And I go online, and I find this manufacturer. I read the write-ups in China. Had it here in 2 days. The rest is history.
That's wow.
Yeah.
That's a super smart way to do it too, because then you're also, if you're shoutcasting it, you don't take your eyes off the screen, and you see people when they're either streaming or other interview stuff. You see them like looking away to the chat or clicking, and this way it's like you're right there in the action and never have to leave it. That's great.
And the funny thing is, because we're having more of best practices kind of conversation, as I am not a high-ranked ELO player like other wonderful people you and I know and you've had on your channel. But the thing I always push to everybody is the moment you figure out that one aha thing, don't stop. Think of 5 more aha things. Okay. Because sooner or later, somebody's going to have that one thing you have. It's just a matter of time. You didn't invent it. You're just the first to have it. So always try to be ahead. Like when you play pool, it's not about the ball you're hitting. It's about getting the ball from there to there to there to there. And I say this to KB512 all the time. So we wrote out a punch list of 9 different technologies we wanted to implement in the stream, like what makes us great. Okay. Now, one of my best friends, Jason Lee, is one of the heads of marketing for CBS Sports. So when he first started watching my Twitch channel, he's like, this is stupid. Nobody. This isn't going to take off. By the time Heroes of the Storm happened, he's like, holy cow, I got so many ideas for you. You know?
Nice. Okay.
So, so we were pushing it. So we came out with the Player Spotlight, which is a proprietary API that my developer, shout out to Santa, designed, and we had the 6-man interface. Because I find that like when you watch other Vainglory streams, you mostly watch the people getting picked, and you know, I'm like, no. It's about shouting you out, the player on the stream. I want you to feel like I'm putting you on the pedestal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we wrote this API that calls your Twitch photo. So all I do is I put your Twitch handle in the thing, in the software. It calls the API, puts your photo in there, so everybody sees your really cool photo. It might be a professional, you know, esports photo you got, you know, or a goofy picture. We don't know.
Yeah.
And then underneath it, I have your BIOS pulled too in the API. So when we switch over to our Player Spotlight, I could talk about you. So like if you just start kicking butt in the game and you're already 5 kills in, you know, like 6 minutes into the game, I could be like, oh my God, let's talk about Brad for a minute here.
Yeah.
You know? And I bring your bio right up on the fly. So we got that. We got the Player Spotlight, the 6-way interactive, instant replay, of course. And then we got a couple other new technologies we are working on that are currently in development. I've showed a couple of them to Playoff Beard, and he's nuts about it. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's gonna be fun if you go back. It gives a reason to go back to and watch your stream. If you were playing that game, be like, oh yeah, he's talking about me, and like brought up my bio, and so you enhance that like rewatchability. Or yeah.
Well, that's my whole goal. You know, I want to take the viewers and turn them into participants. I want them to feel important. And then once in a while, you get that diamond in the rough that I got all these high, like Monday Night Fights. It's the promoted stream. And I put my subscribers against my followers, and we pick random followers.
Okay.
Once in a while, you get that diamond in the rough who just took out these high elo players that nobody's ever heard of, and we're featuring him in the feature for Vainglory on our channel in the Player Spotlight. And he starts tweeting that out, and he's now addicted to playing Vainglory on everybody's channel. I've seen it happen a million times, and I love it. It's a great way to promote the community and make everybody feel important, because they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So if you've listened to Shatter the Vain before, this is going to be a little different episode because doing lots of traveling, got a wedding, and TwitchCon is coming up, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So we're not going to dive into the news too much because we're also like in a good spot in between 1.9 probably coming out in probably about 2 weeks. And we've had that hot fix that's being worked on and possibly being pushed out by the time this episode goes live for the Stormguard banner issues.
Yeah, I got to tell you really quick. I made it clear to my viewers on the promoted stream last night. You know, I had like 400 people at one point.
Yeah.
If you try to use that on my stream, you're going to get permanently banned.
Oh,
like
okay.
I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not playing by the rules. You're exploiting it. Playoff Beard tweeted out a photo tonight of all of them at the war table, just working on it, and you know, I thanked them. You know, it's that's why we love this game so much, because they care about the community.
Yeah, and they said when we had the scarf issues, like we waited too long for that. Like they realized that they messed up afterwards. I think they're doing everything they can not to like hurt the community in the game again, like in that same fashion.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not the highest ranked, and I really want to get my elo up there before the trophy kicks in for season 1. And I'm scared to play right now. I'll be honest with you, because I'm afraid other people on my team that are total strangers in ranked games are going to exploit it. I don't want to be associated with that.
Okay.
And I would rather take a week off and focus on other stuff and then get back into it. You know. So.
Well, yeah, and you got plenty of other games to play. You also stream Destiny and Batman from time to time, so you still do those other games along with Vainglory, right?
Usually one day a week, I dedicate to something else, just so I could give it a try. I have a promotion. I can't say the name of the game yet, but as the channel's been growing, I'm working with a marketing company, and I will be broadcasting a certain video game from a studio in New York City, maybe Monday night.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'll give you a hint. It's right here. If you can make it out.
Okay, all right. Nice.
It's not a MOBA, guys. Don't worry.
So do you still play a lot of other games even off stream? Like, are you...
You know, I got the Vainglory curse, man.
Okay.
Nothing compares to it. I like this new Destiny add-on came out, right? And it's like, oh, okay, this is great. I really want to work on my ELO though. It's
Yeah.
I just got an email from for the Rainbow Six beta, the second beta, and it's like, that's great, but I want to work on my
But
ELO.
I gotta practice this guy, and I gotta see what I can do. And yeah, it's tough. It's a really addicting game. Like I think MOBAs in general have that same quality. Like I got hooked on League of Legends for a good year, 2 years there until Vainglory took a hold of me. So
Brad, we've had this conversation too. The thing I love, the two things I really love about Vainglory is, first off, the community. When you do a meetup of real Vainglory players, whether it's a regional meetup or a national meetup, like at the Lair 2 months ago, or TwitchCon in a week,
yeah,
you are surrounding yourself by all these people that care about the same thing you do as much, and it's just such an amazing feeling. That's
yeah,
one.
for sure.
Second, I have been out with some serious Vainglory players, and we're in bars, and they'll excuse themselves to go play in front of the bar. Grown-ups doing this. That's
It's like, let me just slip in a quick game here.
oh my God. If you ever, my advice to you, if you ever host a Vainglory meetup, and it's for an older crowd, like a beer crowd, make sure they have outdoor seating and Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Two things you got to make sure.
Wi-Fi and outdoor seating. All right. Very good. Well, I think I wanted to talk to you about getting started streaming, and for people that are listening, probably and watch your stream and just see all these great streamers and want to know, can I do this? Is this possible to even get into? I feel like this is a good news topic or just topic to dive into here.
Absolutely. Okay, so the first thing I tell people, don't be like me. No, I'm dead serious. You see me here. I'm in what, $17,000 worth of studio equipment.
Okay.
Don't be like me. Don't blow your mortgage payment on becoming a Twitch broadcaster. Have fun with what you're doing and do it in baby steps.
Okay.
You will grow with the community and not just as a single person that way. Depending on what kind of computer you got, you have options. Immediately start playing with OBS. It's free.
Right.
You can't screw that up. It's free. It's available for Mac and PC. If you have a Mac, an i5 or an i7 if you're fast enough, then you could run via Windows as a QuickTime source your actual iOS device. You can take your iPhone or your iPad, plug it in natively, go into QuickTime and say, hey, start recording this, but just as a video source, not locally. Then you import that source into OBS, and hey, guess what? You're ready to capture your gameplay and go live. Do you want to use a camera? Do you not want to use a camera? I always leave that up to you. Some people are more confident with just the microphone, more of a lyric kind of style. And other people love being on camera. And I think it's great either which way you go. And it's all about your confidence and what you're comfortable sharing with the public.
Right. Because we do see a lot of people stream, they can get lots of viewers and don't have a camera. Like you just become known that way. And so just because everyone has a camera doesn't mean you have to.
And that is proof why it's all about your personality and your ethics as a broadcaster. Don't go under the impression where you're going to set up donations and all of a sudden you're going to start making money. You're in it for the wrong reason. And I say that wholeheartedly. I've seen so many people that have come in full steam, graphics, the channel, the hardware, and everything. But why do only 5 people watch me? Because your personality sucks. No offense. You got to focus on the game and having fun. If you're not having fun, then everybody knows your motives.
Yeah.
So start simple, have fun with what you're doing. If you're on a PC, you could download Air Server. It's a great $19 investment. You don't have to invest in any hardware. Here's the thing, though. I've used all sorts of hardware. I have 2 Elgatos. I have the original from 2 years ago, and I have the HD60.
Okay.
The problem you run into those is you're still throttling yourself by the amount of bandwidth you could put in the USB port. The HD60 is great, but after about an hour and a half, you start to notice, even with a great computer, your voice sometimes doesn't match your video.
Right, yeah.
And it gets worse and worse and worse, and you got to reset it on the fly. And if you get a good group of people and you don't want to lose them, you hate that feeling. But the rendering is done on the actual device. Now, if you switch over to something like Air Server, you're going to have a little more horsepower to compensate because Air Server is just the conduit and it's using your computer's hardware to render. So here's an example. If I hooked up my iPhone, iPad, whatever, physically to a device, the device is going to offset the load and it will focus more on the capture. If I do Air Server, my CPU utilization will go from 50 to probably 80%. And you see it, it's drastic. And if you get a lot of action and you're partnered and then you start broadcasting in source with 1080p, forget about it. You're gonna need to reevaluate your whole situation. Now, my build right now, I actually got a new capture card about a month and a half ago. People were telling me, don't do it. This card stinks. And I actually spoke to the vendor. The vendor's like, oh, we got updates. We fixed all those issues. It's just software updates.
Okay.
I got a Black Magic Intensity Pro 4K, the 4K model.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been using it religiously now, so, with Windows 10. By the way, whole other subject, don't go to Windows 10. I'll explain that later. I'm your guinea pig, guys. Again, don't be like me. So the Blackmagic Intensity Pro captures at 1080p, 60 frames a second, right off my iPhone 6 Plus. So it's a great card.
Okay.
I use it. I used to think when I would have little hiccups on the stream, it was the card. It actually was the iPhone. The iPhone was starting to get hot.
Yeah.
And I've actually overheated my iPhone about 4 times in the last month on the stream. So now when I broadcast, actually to fix all this, I take an ice pack and I put it on the bottom of my iPhone.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we're there, dude. My phone is so hot it shuts off from playing Vainglory.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to mine where it just shuts off or blue screen. It's like poof, and then like what happened?
So I before that I had an Avermedia. The Avermedia is a great card, but guys, here's the thing you got to really pay attention to. There's a thing called HDCP protection. It prevents people from taking licensed videos that are on your device and recording them to a computer. Mm-hmm. So your mobile device and your iPad and everything else are enabled with this on the actual connection. So HDCP will say, no, I'm not going to let you show Vainglory. I'm not saying that this is how you should hack it, but there's ways around that, even if you're trying to be legitimate. Okay. I won't get into that, but you could Google it. Go ahead, kids. But this is why I went with the Intensity Pro. The Intensity Pro that's licensing bypasses all that by default. It leaves it on you. It says, look, just don't do anything bad. Just do what you're supposed to do with it, you know? And it works right out of the gate. So highly recommend it. As for the Elgato, the HD60 is a great device to start with if you physically need to plug it in. But after a while using it, you're going to start to see that it chokes a little. But that's my advice for starting up hardware. Don't go nuts, by the way, with spending money on giveaways. This is the other thing I always tell people. On my old channel, the DZ channel, I would see all these top streamers I always wanted to meet and impress, and I'd see them do giveaways. Well, the thing you got to understand about broadcasting on any network, you have the stuff you pay for out of your own pocket to help promote your channel.
Yeah. You
have your affiliates. These are people that will provide discounts to your viewers for you talking about their product. And then you actually have sponsors. Sponsors actually give you free stuff for, shouting them out and running their little ads on your screen. So a perfect example of this was when I first started broadcasting about 2 years ago, I would give away a $10 Xbox Live code via Amazon or whatever, and we'd play, back then it was Killer Instinct or whatever, and I would have this really negative thing happen, and I was too dumb to notice it for like a month and a half. People would show up, and they would literally say in the chat, hey, any giveaways tonight?
Okay.
No. Okay, I'll try tomorrow, and they would leave the channel.
They just,
50 people a night easily, man. And
because they saw you do it once, they think you're just going to keep doing it, and don't care to do it again.
So if you guys are going to get into broadcasting, start cheap. Use OBS. Try to use your native connection on your mobile device. You could download free graphics. There's plenty of sites that do it. Vain Shame. He puts them all out there for you. License free. Go right there. So now you got your graphics, your capture source, your device. When you're connecting to whoever you're uploading to, make sure you use an Ethernet connection. Wi-Fi is great, but Wi-Fi can sometimes be random. And, a phone might conflict with your channel. that's ringing in the kitchen or something, and now you just lost your viewers. So go Ethernet. Always go Ethernet. And even with the new 802.11, was it ACN or AN or whatever, even though it's faster than 10100 ports, 10100 is still more stable.
Right. Okay.
So, the other thing, when it comes to like giveaways, never put the words giveaway in your title. Never, because you're basically setting yourself up to get the wrong kind of viewers. I've only done it twice on DZ Live on Twitch for 1.5 years now. Instead, I tell people, stick around. I'll tell you how you can enter to win something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they stick around, then they end up winning. They end up finding out. Can I give a shameless plug really quick?
Oh,
Brad?
go for it. Yeah.
So yesterday I broke 10,000 followers.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you for your support. And with that, we're going to be giving away an Xbox One.
Okay.
So more info to come. But the thing is this, guys. Use a marketing company like Gleam. Gleam is free for the entry-level packages for any of your giveaways. And it's a great way to cross-pollinate with other people. Let me explain this. Brad and I are friends. Brad and I do a lot of different things together. And I can make it where if you follow my channel, you get one entry in towards the Xbox One we're going to give away. Well, I want to help Brad. So I'm going to give you a second chance to enter if you just click the thing and follow him. If you follow him on Twitter, here's another. And next thing you know, you got 15 different chances to enter to win to celebrate 10,000 followers.
Okay, I've seen those all over the place. Yeah, makes sense.
And that's how I recommend doing it. And if you're friends with other broadcasters and they want to get in on cross marketing, divvy up the prize total. Then divvy up what you're going to give away. You know, I'll pay for half, you pay for half. We'll do your YouTube, your Twitter, your Twitch, my YouTube, my Twitter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's another best practice that I've learned from doing this, kids.
Okay. So that personality thing, I think going back to that, like I feel like a lot of people underestimate how much work streaming actually takes and how much like just you're talking and you're communicating with your chat and like you said start cheap, and I think that's so important to do because you may do it for a week or a few days thinking, oh, I have time, I can dedicate, you know, a couple nights here, a couple nights there, and then all of a sudden next week you're like, I just want to go to sleep, or I just want to play the game and I don't want to talk to anybody.
You know how many times, and this leads into something I always tell people, get a good support system. Meet other streamers that care about things you do and really network with them and listen to them if they have problems. I got to tell you, Fallow Ferris and I have been through hell together. We've been on Team V Gaming for about 2 years. Miss Vixen got us together. We were, always travel with her. And
Cool.
If I have a bad day, I call Ferris. I'm like, man, I don't feel like streaming tonight. You're like, what? You got all these people that want to watch you. What are you, stupid? And then he gives me a pep talk. And then he calls me when he feels bad. And you need a good support system because I got to tell you, it's rough. There's so much prep work involved too. I have a 10-minute checklist I actually go through, man.
Oh, wow.
I reboot the computer to make sure everything's refreshed. I make sure no updates have to run. I get my tweet deck. I'm actually looking because in my brain I go, this goes here, this goes here. I got my tweet deck over here to announce the tweets as they come over. I got my sub alert to announce the banner that comes up on the screen. Okay, now you got to make sure it's on top. Is the chroma key enabled? Okay, am I hosting somebody? Okay, before I go live, I got to unhost them, count 10 Mississippi, and go live. Okay, let's look at my overlays. Is this working? Is audio working? Oh, look, the device isn't being captured. Great, let's figure this out. And that's easily 10 to 15 minutes of prep work. Yeah.
And that's you in your studio that's usually just used for this.
Turnkey.
It's not even like someone who's using their laptop for work every day or school and then like, okay, then I stream. It's like that even adds a whole other list of problems.
Another thing, if you're going to use any device, whether it's an iOS device, an Android, make sure you put your device into do not disturb mode of some sort. I watch viewers that, an email comes from their bank and their checking balance appears quickly at the top of the screen. I've watched their mother yell at them in a text message. I've seen somebody almost break up with their girlfriend and they didn't want to show it. These things. So again, before you go live, make sure on your device you put in do not disturb mode. Mm-hmm. Trust me.
Man, all this stuff to think about to get started.
Yeah.
So that's all. What do you think about like something like Mob Crush that recently launched? You think that's a good way to get somebody like just to try it out for the first time? Because it does seem like there's a little less barrier of entry maybe to get going.
With all these mobile networks, I have my preferences, but that's not the point of this question. I think they're all the same in my mind because most of them, you just take a stream key and you authenticate with the key with OBS or XSplit, and you're on. That's it.
Okay.
But when you do that, it's more about what makes you comfortable. I watch more Twitch, so I've always been Twitch, you know? But if you're starting new, test all the different networks. Try them out. What makes you comfortable? Which do you find that your questions get answered in the chat more? Which looks better to you? What has more of the games you like? Twitch is always looking at mobile as an emerging market. Unfortunately, there's only so many good mobile games right now to broadcast. Everything else looks like a mobile game.
Yeah.
We're blessed with Vainglory because I get people that come in and are like, oh, wow, I saw this on Twitch the other day. So how do I put this on my PC? No, it's a mobile game, sir. Wait. You're telling me I'm watching your iPhone right now? Yeah.
Right.
You're watching my iPhone.
Yeah,
this is awesome. Where do I get it right now? It's just...
Even streaming on Kamcord, people come in and be like, is this on mobile? It's like, well, it has to be for me to be streaming here. Like, I guess I'm confused by the question now. So. The game does look great. It's fantastic when you get those kind of questions in your chat. Like, what is this game? How do I get it? It's like, right here, man. Download it now for free.
So you got don't break the bank. Set your privacy settings correctly. Find a network you enjoy watching that you could be comfortable broadcasting on. The next thing I would recommend, by the way, is your privacy. You got to make sure that you always think of yourself as this other identity when you're streaming. And I say this mostly to the younger viewers, too, because we get a lot of younger kids that play on Twitch and stuff, and the other networks, too. You could be Captain, Skull Crusher 25 and get 100 people to watch you. But always keep in mind, you don't know who's on the other end watching. And I say this as somebody who's been doing this for 2.5 years. Always protect yourself first, entertain people second.
Okay.
It's your privacy is what makes you comfortable. Always be respectful to your viewers, and then worry about the entertainment factor. Am I being watched? Am I popular? It comes in time. It really does. You just got to earn it. Build it. Sorry, not earn it. Build it too, but build it.
I think the privacy thing is probably where I fail. I'm a very open person, and it's my name, and it's all out there.
But you're the cool, different thing. You're more of a personality who does this and other stuff. I listen to the Brewcast. I listen to this, and you are in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? So you are a public figure, but little Timmy who just wants to chat and play in front of people, needs to just be more reserved. And we say this because, you don't know who's watching you. So always just be respectful. The other thing really quick too, if you're a young broadcaster, make sure your parents know what you're doing. Seriously, stream with the door open. I know it sounds stupid, but it'll give them peace of mind because they can hear you talking and they won't bother you most of the time. And you know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. That's all.
Yeah. And then you mentioned privacy. I think also pay attention to Skype. Your Skype settings in there.
Are we going there now? Are we at that point? All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to say this wholeheartedly from experience. Skype is the most unsecure product you could ever share your information with.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. There are so many utilities to get your IP address if I know your Skype name. And if I put your Skype name, your real Skype name, not your nickname, your Skype name into these utilities, I get your IP, and now I can DDoS you.
Yeah.
Which segues over to the whole why we got away from using Skype and TeamSpeak, and now we're in love with Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know I got DDoS a few times and just I basically kind of shut down for a good week there to try to figure all that out, and
it broke my heart, Brad.
Yeah.
I watched like 15 of you in 1 week just getting shut down. Fuji walked away from it. Yeah. Fuji was like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah,
he hasn't
dealing with this. Really even been back since.
It aggravated him. It really did. And I'm watching Shin getting hit, and I've known, dude, I started broadcasting Vainglory at the very beginning, and then there was this cool guy that was broadcasting during the day when I wasn't broadcasting. And now I've been friends with him for 6 months, Shin kicking, And it broke my heart to see this going through. So guys, listen, avoid Skype. Avoid Skype. I would recommend getting away from TeamSpeak too. Use Discord. I am affiliated with them in the sense where I promote their product, but I promote it because I like it, not because I'm getting paid.
Okay.
Discord, from my understanding, is more of a VPN-based product. When you fire it up, you have a chat session, and then if you actually want to talk, it actually tunnels in securely, so you don't share your information with the other people.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like it's like saying, Brad and you and I, we play CS:GO all the time together. Well, why do you need my social security number? Why do you need my IP then? You know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those things. So, guys, seriously, if you're going to get into broadcasting, Skype's easy, but you pay a price with it. And if you piss off that one person, you're just going to be a YouTube video of them showing it off. It's so stupid.
Yeah, you don't need to give it out to all the people. There's a lot of other ways to do it. I know autocorrect, he even deleted it from his computer and won't even install it anymore. I had to get him on FaceTime for our episode because he didn't even want to get it back on his system. It's
the truth. Now, listen, if you need to use Skype, you have VPN solutions that you could go through to get a different IP address.
Yeah.
And if you have it on your mobile phone, don't use it on your home Wi-Fi then if you need to use it if you're worried. But yeah, just it's a shame. I wish Microsoft paid more attention to it personally. But
yeah, I think that will hurt them in the long run, just having it that open, and people are going to stop using it, and most of the Vainglory community is now on. They're online and they're on Discord. Those are kind of the places now. Everyone kind of left Skype for all their guild chats and their communication, and just not worth it.
And when we first started using Discord, the link to register, you had to get on a computer, register the link, get authenticated, and then you were good to go. Now, if you're watching a Vainglory game and the broadcaster says, "Hey, join us. We're going to do Q&A right now. We'd love to hear from you," and he puts the link in the chat in whatever network he's broadcasting on, you could click it, authenticate, done.
Nice, yeah.
Here's my advice to you guys, though. If your viewers are going to participate in online broadcast Discord channels, whether it's Twitch, Mob Crush, or everything, make sure your Discord ID matches your Twitch ID or your Mob Crush ID or your Kamcord ID. It just makes the broadcaster more comfortable knowing, oh, wait, yeah, that's Brad. Okay, yep. Okay, you're good, Brad. And brings you in. The other thing, too, is if you play Vainglory with streamers, try to make sure there's continuity in your naming, whether it's off by like a digit or two. Because I get these people when we do the raffles, and they get these screen names like Superman 24. And I'm calling out Superman 24 for 10 minutes before I give up. And then all of a sudden, like a day later, I get a message on Twitch saying, I friended you on Vainglory with the other 100 people that night, and you didn't bring me into the game you said I wanted to play. All right, man. Hey, what's your gamer tag? Smurfman24. But you go by Superman24 on it. Yeah, well, I thought No, I don't know. I got to entertain people. It's that easy, man. Pay the $10 and have them switch your name if your account's high elo. If not, just go make a new Twitch account. Do you really... Yeah. Are you that established? Come on. So,
man, rough.
Man.
So, any other tips or any other steps people should think of before they start streaming?
I got to tell you, joining a community is a great way to go. Get on the charity circuit if you want to grow as a streamer. Every charity event I do. We just did the Operation Supply Drop last week, and Foul Ferris put that whole thing together. 28 hours of streaming, 36 hours of streaming. 3,000 and change was raised in almost a day.
That's awesome.
Just for playing video games? Yeah. Come on. Join a stream team, because I met so many up-and-comers that I never heard of before. And now I'm looped in with them in conversations. And when I got that 250 people watching and I'm about to sign off, I'm going to host one of those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how you get ahead real easily. Just network with other streamers. Join charity events. Go to meetups. If you're underage, make sure your parents come with you. I say that because a lot of kids, play. But get established into some kind of community. If you're 21 and over, I know in New York City, Swifter hosts a meetup every other month. I go to all of them, and what used to be 6 people is 60 people now. And and
Nice.
we're helping each other, and we're getting to the point where like somebody asks him a question, and he'll actually pull me aside and say, "Hey, you want to answer this one? I got to answer this one." And these are the kind of things with Twitch and Mob Crush and Kamcord growing that you're going to start seeing with broadcasters. So get established. Start with the charity circuit. That's how I got into it. That's how I met Ferris. Miss Vixen. So before I started broadcasting on Twitch, I started watching it a little. I was watching Duck Sauce and Miss Vixen. That was it. And Towley a little. And then I started streaming DayZ for fun. And then the Xbox One Twitch integration kicked in about a year and a half ago. And Miss Vixen was actually in the official commercial. And I'm like, oh, I know her, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she put out a call. She basically said, hey, next month we're going to fundraise for St. Jude. I want serious people that could dedicate at least 1 or 2 days a week for 3 hours a day. I said, I could do that. I could do that. And next thing you know, I started handing over streams to Ferris, and we became best friends. You know what I mean? And followed up with 9 other streamers from just doing that. And next thing you know, those streamers are saying nice things about you, saying, hey, you should check out my friend here, or hosting you, or tweeting you out. And so join a community. I did it with a charity circuit, but you could join a guild too. I got to tell you, which leads into something else. Brad, I got to tell you, man, I've been dying to have this kind of interview with you because it's always about high elo, how do I kill? Have you seen this build? I want to teach you how to. I want to teach you everything.
How to meet people and have fun.
Do this, don't do this conversation. Because if I could go back in my DeLorean and tell myself, I would have been probably further ahead by now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when it comes to that, just join a group, join a guild. The next thing I'd recommend to you, and this is like step number 6, start using sites that offer analytics. Here's what I'm saying. Go to socialblade.com, look up your channel. All Twitch's, I don't know about the other stuff, but Twitch and YouTube's API, their statistics are public. I could see what you did on YouTube. I could see what you're doing on your Twitch channel. And from there, you can see your growth rate. And the growth rate is the thing you should really pay attention to when you're starting out. If you have if you average 5 to 20 viewers a day, that is amazing to start. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah.
But if your growth rate goes from 8 to 10 to 12% while you're maintaining that, that means you're getting new viewers as part of those 20. And then the other viewers are going to start coming back, and 20 becomes 25, 30, 45. You know what I mean? So always look at your growth rate. Try to set a goal for yourself. So again, socialblade.com, look at your channel, look at the rating, look at your growth rate. There's another secret thing I'm going to share with your viewers that I've never told anybody. A video game marketing company that I do promotions with told me about this site the other day. And I want to give them a shout out because I've actually been using it a lot. It's called Twinge TV, Twinge TV. Now, they take the analytics from a different kind of angle. Here's what I do that's very unique with this channel. I just broadcasted Monday Night Fights last night, right? Now, the ideal thing is to always have a steady growth. Never drop, just steady. I go back, I look at last night's broadcast on their site. Again, everything's public, so you can see it. And they give you a little chart, and they show when you had your ups and downs. So all of a sudden, I see I had a dip right here. I had a dip. Well, what did I do to cause that? You could click on where the dip starts, and it goes right to the video. Right to the video. And it shows what you're doing. You know, like and I find that's usually when I start to slow down. You know, instead of being the hype man, I become the, hey, another kill. So, Brad, you going grocery shopping this weekend? Yeah, I think I'm going to go get this. Oh, okay, yeah, try this. You know, compared to, oh my God, Brad, you see that? He just killed him. Oh my God. Yeah. And
so you lost those people that maybe had it on the background, that were just kind of listening.
Yeah, so I highly recommend checking out twinge.tv. It's my secret thing that I just started using a couple weeks ago. And I'm able to take notes. Like I literally, where is it? Right here. I take notes from Twinge. And I actually say to myself, don't ever do this again. This worked.
Ooh, okay.
Don't do this again. This worked. You know? I had constructive criticism the other day. I have too many shoutcasters now on my channel. So now I got to tell people, if you're not the 4 people in the game, comment when we're between matches. You know, like we'll make it a point to round table between matches then. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, Brad.
So you mentioned like that growth rate, and then I feel like that goes into the consistency that you kind of touched on. But how important is being consistent with, like, if you broadcast just once a week, every Tuesday or every Friday?
The thing I tell people that you can't break, the one rule you can never break, if you publish a schedule, you have to stick to it. The problem people run into when they're finally saying, yeah, I'm going to take this serious, I'm going to stick to it, they overextend themselves and they burn out.
Yeah.
People say, oh, I'm going to do this 5 nights a week. Yeah, your wife is going to really love that, dude. Oh, your girlfriend's
girlfriend's
going to want to hear her phone go off that you're playing video games instead of taking her to dinner, or your kids are going to be mad you didn't go to their baseball game. You know what I mean? Instead, you create a schedule and you stick to it and start modest, just like the hardware we were talking about before. Don't go 2 feet into broadcasting. Just put your toe in the water, get comfortable, then put your foot in. It doesn't. I know so many broadcasters that only stream like maybe once or twice a week, and they focus on the quality, not the quantity, and people come rushing in the door the moment they get the notification. So
Okay. And then I know this is a Vainglory podcast, and you should probably be playing Vainglory, but how important do you feel like it is to, like, do you stick to one game? Do you, like, jump on that game that's growing, like a brand new game? Or is that like just a whole box?
You know, this is
like
the number one question we as broadcasters have with each other about best practices when it comes to growth. Everybody wants to be usually a variety caster. That means they play many different games throughout the week. The problem is
It's way more fun,
it
right?
is.
You get to play whatever you want.
The problem you run into as a variety caster is, you know, you're known for the game that you play, and now you're not playing that game. So people will be like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then they don't come. I love Vainglory. I'm going to be streaming Vainglory forever. It's 95% of my schedule. But that one day I decide to play something on a Saturday morning, some indie game, I only got 20 viewers. I only got maybe 30 or 40. So I got to be extra intimate with those viewers and make sure I'm always talking to them in the chat. And, you know, and if you grow, you kind of get on a, you know, oh, hey, Bob, how's it going? Hey, man, how'd your kid's game go today? Or, you know, hey, Sue, how's your grades? You know, you studied last week. You know what I mean? These are the little things that will go so far for a smaller crowd. Sure, if I switch right over to Vainglory, here comes 200 people. You know, it's like, But, and that's the thing. And I know so many people who went from being one game to a variety caster, and only about 25% of them were able to pull it off. Now that they pulled it off, though, they're stuck like that because you get people butting heads if you're a variety caster compared to, oh, you're not playing this, I don't want to watch you. Here's an example. If I play Vainglory and I switch over, I was playing Shadow Complex last week. It's an old indie game. I had nobody. But if I were to grow doing the indies, the Vainglory guys will come in and say, when are you going to play Vainglory again? Come on, man. You know, so it's a double-sided sword. When I moved, I got to tell you, when I moved from Heroes of the Storm to Vainglory, cold turkey.
Or
not Heroes, Legends of Order and Chaos. Heroes of Order and Chaos.
Heroes of Order and Chaos.
Heroes of Order and Chaos to Vainglory. For the first 3 weeks, it was tough love, buddy. And I lost a lot of people. And I was not partner at the time. My growth rate went, you know, it just like, it flatlined, if not went down at first. And you know what? It gets better because I got to tell you, man, I stuck with Vainglory and it finally kicked in. So
cool. Man, so much stuff to think about when you're first starting streaming, and if you even do it. I don't know. It's fun, but just playing the game is even fun. Is fun too. So if you can do both and you can pull it off, like, more power to you. And, you know, give it a try if you're even interested in it at all.
I got to tell you, you know what will really take the game to the next level in broadcasting? Since spectator mode came out, that was the big thing. Yeah. I really think with these faster devices coming out in the next couple of weeks, you got the iPhone 6S, the 6 Plus S. I believe there's 75% faster CPU in the GPUs.
Something like
and the
that,
GPU, I believe, is 90% faster. All right, now you got this extra resources, and the game's already optimized for the previous hardware. What do you do with the supplemental resources? Real simple. If you have this device and it's detected or faster, put the Twitch SDK built into the game.
Okay.
And I could put on a pair of headphones with a mic. I could broadcast live anywhere I am, so I don't have to be in my studio. Especially with TwitchCon coming up next week. I wish I had the SDK. I could just get on a Wi-Fi somewhere and broadcast live. Quick story about the SDK. When it came out It came out originally for Asphalt 8. It was a Gameloft race car game, and it was a big push. And the game got 30 frames per second at the time. This is 2 years ago. It had the SDK, and I went live. And when I went live, Gameloft actually came into the channel, and then all of a sudden I started seeing these people with monkey wrenches next to their name. I'm like, what's that? Put my mouse over it. It's actual Twitch employees. Yeah. And they said to me, and I'll never forget this, they said to me, hey, how long are you going to be on? I'm going to be on for about another 2 hours. Okay, we're going to put you on the front page. Don't screw it up. And next thing you know, 3,000 people connected to my stream native off my iPhone 5S. Native.
Jeez.
Blew my mind. So I really think if they could integrate the Twitch SDK into Vainglory, if you have this device or faster kind of scenario, it will really take everything to the next level. Because everybody's going to say, hey, you know what? I don't need this computer like DZ and Brad said. I don't need all this. I just want to play and show off my ELO. And next thing you know, you might find that diamond in the rough from this. So,
well, yeah. And Super Evil seems like they have a really good relationship with Twitch. Yeah. They're at their booth. They're at events for everything. I believe they have some stuff planned here for TwitchCon. So
we'll be there.
Might be worth it, yeah. What do you have? This is the first TwitchCon. What do you expect from it?
Well, that leads into something I wanted to share with you and your viewers. Download the Twitch app. If you haven't already, the TwitchCon app, the official TwitchCon app. Guidebook made it. And if you ever gone to any of these events, Guidebook usually makes the event so you can plan everything.
Yeah.
But they took it a step further and made it a Twitch-only version for the event.
Okay.
Now, here's the cool thing they did. One of the first things I ever learned as a broadcaster, if you go to events, have cards made. It doesn't matter if they're cheap little cards, just something with your info. So if you make a great impression with somebody, they know how to find you. It's the simplest thing. I learned that from Swifter day one, Comic-Con over a year ago in New York City. So with the app, register yourself as an attendee in the app. Set up your nickname, put a link to your Twitch channel. It's all there in the app. Put a graphic in there. Now, if I meet you, Brad, for the first time, and I like you, all right, hold on, Brad, I'm going to look you up in the database. I could then put a plus next to your name and download your information right to my... And I know when I go home, I can watch you on Twitch. So it bypasses the whole card thing. There is no excuses that you cannot network with this app for free. And then vice versa, I could send you my card and put a little memo. Hey, Brad, per our lunch on Friday, it was great to meet you. Here's my info. Compared to the old way, I'm trying to find my money clip. I usually put them all in my money clip, and I usually have a stack of cards this big.
You can't see, you're sitting crooked.
Yeah. So I can't emphasize enough to you guys, if you're going to participate in TwitchCon as a somebody just hanging out, somebody going to the meetings, playing with the vendor stuff, there's an attendee section, there's people to follow, and a vendor section built into it. Here's the other thing that's really cool about the app. Everything is timelined in the app. So I got to make it a point that I'm going to make sure I'm going to be there when Miss Vixen's on stage. And I want to be in the front row. Okay. She's my good friend. So I go into the app and I search, and it's Miss Vixen, certain time, Saturday. I hit plus, and now it puts it in my calendar on my iPhone.
Nice.
And it reminds me 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever I choose. I've already booked half of TwitchCon on my mobile device already, and I haven't even showed up yet.
I gotta get on that.
Get on it! I'm in there. Man, we got so much, Brad, coming up next week. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be nuts. TwitchCon's gonna be great. I'm just excited to be in San Francisco, drinking some great beer out there too, with all these great people like you and Ferris, and it's gonna be fun.
What day do you get in, by the way?
So I will be there from Thursday evening till Sunday afternoon.
Okay, I'm sure you checked your email. So there's a lot going on this week.
I know there is quite a bit.
So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. Maybe we'll get to see something that nobody's seen before. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I definitely want to check out the lair. So I'll head over there at some point.
The lair is awesome, by the way. And the one thing you got to make sure you do when you're there, just tap me on the shoulder. Make sure you take a mean picture of yourself in the lair chairs and get a good black and white one. That photo is the I made it photo. Like I made it to the Playboy Mansion. Look at me. You know, it's that photo. it's really
awesome.
cool.
Okay. Well, this has been a fantastic 50th episode. Anything else, DZ, for you to recommend to people? Or
I think we got the. I think we got our show tomorrow night.
Yep, the Undersprawl.
Yep, and then Thursday and Friday, I'm probably gonna do pickup stuff. Actually, no, Friday, my friend is opening a new brewery in New Haven off of Yale University, so I'm going to that Friday night.
What's the name of it?
You're gonna kill me. I don't know.
Oh, no. All right, report back after you have a few beers and let me know.
I can tell you it's next to the Owl Bar, and which is a landmark in Yale University. And they have my favorite beer on tap. Was it Dirty Bastard?
Founders.
Yeah, Founders. That's it. They got it on tap. 13% IPA. 13%.
Yeah.
You got to drink it in a
That's a pretty big
snifter.
beer.
That's how.
Yeah.
And then Saturday it's pickup stuff. I'll probably do some Vainglory matches. Sundays are always sub Sundays. It's the day I take a step back and I make sure that as many subs as possible get to play.
Cool. Okay.
And then Monday night is a special thing. I will not be doing a promoted Monday Night Fights for the first time ever in my rotation because I'll be in New York City probably for a certain thing for another video game.
Right,
very excited.
Special game.
It might actually be a promoted stream too, which I'm very excited about.
Cool.
And then Tuesday, Foul Ferris and I are going to do the Players Club, where we're going to talk about who we're excited to see at TwitchCon. Take some phone calls, and and then we got the Undersprawl Wednesday and Thursday. You and I, man, San Francisco, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, man, awesome. So if people want to watch your channel, follow you on Twitter, what's all that good stuff?
All right, you can find me on Twitch. Just look up DZ Live on Twitch. On Twitter, I am at DZLive_. I am DZ Live on Instagram, YouTube. I believe I'm still at DZ Live on Twitch. If not, I'm at DZ Live.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it. Kamcord Mob Crush, DZ Live.
Nice. I'll include a link in the post, so be sure to follow them up. Check out whenever DZ's streaming. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at Shatter The Vain. And the website, shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, the YouTube version. It's all there. So head over there. Check it out. Whatever way you need to listen to it, I got it available for you. And so thank you for listening to this very special Shatter the Vain. A little different than our weekly news and gameplay. So hopefully everyone learned something and, they're better streamers now.
Yeah.
DZ, thanks for joining me.
Dude, thanks for having me, Brad.
Shatter the Vain.